Hello everyone, and welcome back to another session of Dark Souls 2 PvP and another weapon showcase. This time I am using the Defender Greatsword, which you get relatively late into the game. After you get the soul of the Thrown Defender, you can trade it with Ornifex and she will give it to you. Now, this is a weapon that is fantastic for faith builds and one that I don't see very often. Usually people are obsessing over the Claymore, the Ruler's Sword, and the Mira Greatsword, and not this one very much. But for a faith build, I would definitely say that this is the best of the greatswords for it. Now, getting started with the Defender Greatsword, it requires 20 strength and 12 dexterity, along with 15 faith in order to wield properly. It has a C scaling in strength, a D in dexterity, and a B in faith. The physical base damage of this weapon when fully upgraded is 200. The physical bonus for me is 135. The lightning base damage is 80 and the lightning bonus is 115 for me. Throw all of those together with a Ring of Blades plus 2 and my attack rating is 530, which is not bad. The counter strength of this weapon is 110, which is average. The poise damage is 35 per hit and the weight is 8 units. Now, later in the video I do infuse this weapon with lightning because that is a straight upgrade to the weapon. When you infuse it with lightning, the scaling changes a bit, and the physical and lightning base damage, along with the bonuses, change, of course, because the scalings change. And when you do infuse it, the C scaling in strength remains, the D scaling in dexterity drops down to an E scaling, and the B scaling in faith goes up to an S scaling, which is fantastic. Now, the physical base damage, it goes down to a 192. The physical bonus goes down to a 91, and that's not great. But this weapon gets the majority of its damage from lightning now. So the lightning base damage goes up from 80 to 115, and the bonus, because of that S scaling, goes up to a 208, which is truly fantastic. And you can even throw on this weapon's self-buff, which is of course lightning based, and it becomes a real powerhouse of a weapon. It's something you would not want to be hit by, and I regularly hit 700s with it. Now, when it is infused with lightning for me, my attack rating went up to a 606 with a Ring of Blades plus 2. So that's an increase of 76 damage from what it was before, and that is a very good thing. Now, the buff on this weapon, how you activate it, you two-hand the weapon and then you hit L2 and you'll put on the buff. And the buff, it's good. It's about the same as a gold pine resin, and that's something I wouldn't complain about. I mean, it's a free buff, and that's always a good thing. It really does encourage the use of a buff, really. So, I can't complain about that. It lasts for about 45 seconds, and it actually is affected by the Lingering Dragon Crest Ring, strangely enough. And when you do put on the Lingering Dragon Crest Ring, it'll increase the length of the buff from 45 seconds to a full minute. So, it gives you that extra 15 seconds. If you think it's worthwhile, then go for it. I personally think it is not. Really, the weapon doesn't even need a buff to be viable in PvP, even against people who have Great Magic Barrier, which, as you've seen in the video already, I fought quite a few with both versions of the sword I had, and am still able to hit significant amounts of damage. If I put on the buff, though, then I'm of course going to be hitting even more, and hitting over 700 is something I do on a regular basis. Now, the biggest pro of this weapon, without a doubt, would be the damage output. Its damage output is fantastic for a greatsword. I mean, being able to hit 700 on a regular basis, I can't complain about that. Other pros of the weapon, the moveset I would definitely say is one. Its two-handed R2 attacks are really, really good at hitting people who are trying to roll around you, and they hit hard. It's something that really catches people off guard, and it's a good pro of the weapon. Other pros of the weapon, its ability to do combos. Of course, it's a great sword. It's always been good at that. Just simple R1, R1, R2, R1, stuff like that. It can't do any like R2, R1, R2, R2 jump attack, stupid, insane, huge combo. But being able to throw jumping attacks in there is something that this weapon is also able to do, and its jumping attacks do a fair bit of damage as well, so that's something you can keep in mind. Now, the biggest con of this weapon, I would have to say that the biggest con of this weapon, I honestly don't even have one. I truly don't even have a con for this weapon. It's really good. I mean, yes, if the person is using Great Magic Barrier and stacking lightning defense, then yes, that's going to be a problem. A little bit of a problem. because it still has a decent physical base damage behind it. Really, it's a great weapon. It's one I don't see very often, and it's one that I know I will be using a lot of the time on this build. It will probably be something I almost always have on me, just to have it. It's very good at chasing people down with its spinning attacks. It's very good at comboing. It's very good at building up damage very quickly and ending a fight very fast. So that's something you should keep in mind if you are fighting it or using it. Anyway, this is the last fight in the video. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, found it helpful in one way or another. Please like, subscribe, and all of that good stuff. And actually, I just thought of a con. I'm going to put that into the description. Anyway, last fight. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys next time.